Hey there, Neely Salem here. So I had the chance to give a shiur, a class, this last Shabbat, and it was so sweet and beautiful. But something that somebody said touched my heart like so deeply that I just really want to share it with you because I'm so grateful that I got to hear this in my ears. So here's a little bit of context, okay? This Shabbat was Shabbat Nachamu. Shabbat Nachamu means that it's the Shabbat of consolation or comfort. Why? Because in the Haftorah it says, Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. Hashem says he's going to comfort the people. Okay. I'm going to walk you through my train of thought and we're going to get to this answer that touched me so deeply. So my train of thought was like this. First, I like to ask the basic questions. What does it mean that Hashem is comforting us? And what would it take for me to feel comforted by Hashem? Okay, now also, train of thought, work with me. This is called the month of Av, which is a name called Av, but it also means father. And we actually call this month, well, Reb Shlomo called this month Menachem Av, which means comfort, the comforting Av, or simply comforting our father. So now I wanted to ask the question in the reverse, not just what does it mean for Hashem to comfort us, but what would we have to do to comfort Hashem? Interesting thought. So I was like, okay, how am I going to think about this? How am I going to work this out? How do I bring this to a class? And the first answer was simple. Like, obviously, a really good paradigm to work with would be the parent-child relationship. To ask, like, what does a parent do to comfort their child? And what would a child have to do to comfort a parent? Well, I'm not a parent yet, please God. But thank God I have a lot of friends that are. So I started this motion, I started asking people, and I was at Friday night dinner at my friends Chaya and Moshe Lorenzo. Thank you, so sweet. And they had a couple there, the Jewish Nomads. You can check them out on Instagram, super cool couple. So I asked them, I said, well, what would it take for your daughter to comfort you? Like, what would she have to do, what would she have to do to bring you comfort? And the father, I forgot his name, said this thing that just really, he said, my daughter's 1.5 years, and to comfort me, the truth is, she doesn't have to do anything. Her existence is what comforts me. Her just being here, just the fact that I get to look at her and see her, that comforts me, her existence. And I was like so touched by this answer. Then I tried to bring it back into the paradigm of me and Hashem, and I could barely contain it. It's like a compliment that I don't even know how to receive yet. And still something about it resonates very deeply. So I just wanted to share this with you. I wanted to offer it to you and see maybe if it touches you deeply as well. And what do you make of that? What if the truth is that Hashem is just comforted by your very existence? And then, how do you process it? What do you do with that? But it was very touching. It was very honoring. It was very comforting, frankly, for me to hear that. And I still don't know what to make of it. Maybe we'll develop it together. But this was like too good not to share with you. So thank you to them. Thank you to my host. Thank you for listening. And I hope you also enjoyed that thought.